Okay, so here's the story of the fish tank. So the guy I live and work with, we work as a good team. He came up with a great idea. As well as everything else we do, we should get a fish tank. So I said, why? He said, because my cousin's got one and I like fish. So I said, okay, let's have a go. So we looked on the internet, did a bit of research, watched some YouTube, and ended up going to Facebook Marketplace and found locally someone was selling a tank before they were going back home. So we live in the UAE, and people tend to come and go quite a lot. So anyway, here we went to have a look at this tank. I thought it was going to be 2-3 foot tank, something like that, but it turned out to be 5 foot. So here's the 5 foot tank. And when we had a look at the tank, he just had a few rocks and some big fish, white fish. Looked very boring. I thought, let's go and do something a little bit more natural. So this is what we created. So you can probably see from the long shot, here it is. It looks very natural. I like to think of this. This is like we're swimming underwater, or we're part of the underwater wonderworld. There's probably a river somewhere in Asia or the tropics. So let's see if we can look round the corner. See, round the corner, this is all the gubbins, and here we have a pipe, and the pipe comes right down to the bottom of the tank. And this is how water comes into the tank and also how water comes out of the tank. So if I lift the lid, you can probably see, probably a bit difficult with the lights, but there's a pipe that runs along the back of the tank. Here we've got a plastic cutting board as a splash protector to stop all the water coming up, because the top is real wood. So anyway, from there you've got 2 jets that go down and squirt water, and that's why you've got this ripple effect or wave effect on the top to help oxygen get dissolved into the water so the fish can breathe. So whilst we're on the top, we can have a look. I've got the lights off so it's easier to see in the tank. Here we've got I think this was started off as a deep fry, stainless steel deep fry basket, but here we have a couple of antorium, and we've got the purple light on because this is the grow light. So this is the antorium, and the idea is their roots take up a lot of the nitrogen and nitrates from the tank, and keep the water fresh and pure for the fish. So to hide this pipe, we've gone and put some bark. Maybe we shouldn't have put some bark from a tree on there, but some people tell me that it's going to make the water go brown, but so far not happened. Here's all the oxygen pipes, and yeah, not really interested in that stuff. So at the back here we've got a water wall or bubble wall, which puts lots and lots of oxygen and keeps the tank nice and clean. And you can see here we've got our Tiger Barbs there. This is something else actually. I never thought that fish were somewhat intelligent. I thought it was just a tank, you put these pretty things in there, fed them food and clean the water every now and again. But why are they hovering around here? Because they know it's breakfast time. And what I found with these Tiger Barbs, they are actually quite intelligent. So we've got red ones, we've got green ones, we've got little ones, we've got big ones, and you can almost get an affinity with these fish because they are quite cute. So one of the things I wanted to do, let's have a look at the bottom of the tank. See, the bottom of the tank, we've picked some nice boulders. These are old glacier wadi boulders that we've put in the tank to start with. And then some people were saying you should have some black soil and sand so the plants can grow. And I thought, well, let's think of something better. So what we do, we get these coconuts and we drill 2 holes, big hole, 2-inch hole at the top and a 1-inch hole at the bottom so the water can go through. And we put the plants in a little old t-shirt, black t-shirt material, make a little bag with some fertilizer balls inside and some black soil. And so the plants actually grow in their own little black soil area. And we put some stones in the coconuts and that holds them down. This coconut here There's nothing inside here. This is just a little tunnel that they like to swim through. And you can see over here, Faz calls this the Christmas tree, because when all the red tiger barbs dancing around it, it does look like a Christmas tree. So you can see here all these roots are growing from there, and of course these roots are taking nutrients for the plant, which is poisonous nitrates and nitrogen dissolved whatever that's not good for the fish, but they're converting it. So we've got our own little ecosystem here. Also we've got an empty coconut here, and this is the idea that one day the fish might want somewhere, a nursery somewhere they can put their eggs, and maybe we get some babies. So the different plants we've got here, I think this is called a foxtail or something, but we've always called it an umbrella plant because we didn't think of anything else. We didn't know the proper name. So you can see here we've got this other kind of plant growing. This is quite a tall plant, and the idea is that hides the pipe that does all the water filtration. So here's our big fellow. This is Mr. Tango, we call him. He was the first tiger barb we had. People told that tiger barbs, he's swimming too fast, we can't focus on him. But yeah, so we were told that these tiger barbs are not friendly fish. They like to fight all the time, but we've found totally the opposite. They're really, really friendly. And we've got different plants. I don't know whether you call these Amazon spears or something. You know, other people know better. But one thing we thought would be a good idea is to grow this tall grass, and this has really taken off. And this has a couple of advantages. It looks nice. It also filters the water. But when we got the tank, you know, you can just see here there's some scratches. Someone obviously used something quite abrasive to clean the algae off, and so my idea is that this green grass tree is going to grow up, which it is doing, and it's going to hide that. So that seems like a good plan. Now in the background here you can see the other fish we've got here is the multicoloured tetras. They're obviously artificial coloured, but we didn't know any better when we got them. We've had this tank 7 months now, so I think it's doing quite well. It looks incredibly natural, apart from these multicolour fish, but that's what most Europeans think the tropics is about. And over here we've got another bit of bark, and this bark is hiding the air pipe, which is providing all these bubbles here. You see these bubbles? Yeah. And here we've got a floating coconut, and the floating coconut's got some more grass growing in it, and this is just so that when we put the food into the tank, the food doesn't go flying everywhere. It holds some of it back so the little fish have got a chance to have something to eat, rather than the main food area in the middle where all the big tetras go and take all the food. And of course we've got two housekeeping monster fish here, and they're incredibly good. They're quite passive, but incredibly hungry, and they're always eating algae and old dead food and everything else. So this is our tank. So I don't know, I think it's pretty good for 7 months. I'm quite happy with this. We use this abrasive sponge here. We keep it red so we don't confuse it with the other sponge that we use in the kitchen. And this is what, every 3-4 days we just give the tank glass a bit of a rub. Stops the algae sticking to it. So let's see if we can give our babies some food. They're obviously thinking it's about time for some food. Trying to do this one-handed, which is quite interesting. There we go. So this is just the food that we use. We found we have to put a little bit into this container, then shake it all up, because it comes in big flakes and we want smaller flakes. So you just watch these fish now. And you can see the tigers are coming, swimming in from everywhere. And now we're just going to put some food in the top. Let's see if we can do that with the one hand. Sorry, the camera's going all over the place. Oops. So I'm going to lift the wooden lid, and now dangerous time. I'm going to stick the fingers in the tank, put some food in, and you can see that food hanging around there, and then the tiger's going to enjoy themselves eating that. And eventually, with the water jets we've got inside, This keeps the circulations inside the tank, and this food goes to everybody else. They're a little bit apprehensive because I'm standing next to the tank, so if I sit down, there we go. And you can see the fish starting to wake up, and they're going to have their breakfast. So there's an explanation of our tank. There is a filtration system underneath, which we'll do another time, which is like a 4-stage filtration, which is quite good. Well, probably 5-stage really. We made a little amendment to the original filtration system. And you can see here now, fish getting quite excited, having their breakfast. And you know what? This is one of the most relaxing things I've ever had in my life. I can just sit here for hours because the fish are always doing something. The Tiger Barbs, especially Mr. Tango, the big one, is our original one. They, 3, 4, 5 of them make like an underwater train, go whizzing around the tank, chasing each other. Incredible fun. So, there we go. So this is what you can do in 7 months. You can create this beautiful, very natural looking environment, and more than that, it is natural, because would you believe, in 7 months we've not done a water change. Well, that sounds incredible, because people were telling me you've got to do a 30% water change every week. Well, this water is crystal clear. It looks a little bit cloudy because of the lights, but it is crystal clear. And I think this is because we keep this ecosystem going. The fish are feeding the plants are feeding the fish, the plants are taking dangerous nitrates out of the water, and they're giving oxygen back. They're taking some of the CO2 out of the water. Yeah, it's pretty good. So, if you enjoy fish, I'm not a fish expert by any means. Prior to this, I only knew about fish and chips. But now, after 7 months, I'm watching an awful lot of YouTube. We have to say special thanks to Nick at Keep Fish Simple, because we learnt an awful lot by watching his videos. And yeah, this is what we've learnt in 7 months and what we've created in 7 months. And you can probably see now, if I just change the angle a little bit, so you can't see all the lights and all the gubbins at the top, this looks like a very natural underwater ecosystem. Enjoy fish, and if you're interested, just put some comments and we're more than happy to answer what we know. We're not experts, but we've learned some stuff. Enjoy fish, and we call it Fish for Relax.